All right, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Sports Yak podcast. It is Tuesday, August 16th. We're kind of recording in the middle of the week between Premier League games, but we had a great weekend of games. It's already been two games of the season so far. A lot of interesting storylines. So we had to talk about it. We got Hamza back on. How are you, man?
I'm good, man. How are you guys?
Yeah, feeling good. Me and you, top of the table.
Top of the table, man. It's my home. I live here. But you're welcome.
Yeah, it's like it's nonchalant for you. You're just like chilling.
Yeah, man. It's been a good start. It's been a good start.
Yeah, pretty easy wins. But Ahmad, how you doing, man?
Doing great, man. And yourself?
Doing great so far. Uh, we'll see in a couple weeks. I think obviously like there's more sample size in a couple weeks, but we can only talk about what we've seen so far. But I think you guys had the biggest game of the weekend, Chelsea versus Tottenham at Chelsea,
Mhm.
and you guys managed to get a draw with some antics, but you guys managed to get it. How are you feeling?
Bro, this is the difference between the new Tottenham and the old Tottenham. No more Spursy. It's Conte mentality. So,
I like how you like fully bought in. Like I feel like in the beginning of Conte's era, you were a little bit iffy about him.
I mean, I think Conte was iffy about himself in the beginning. But I think all he needed was backing from Levy and everyone at the top and getting what he wants. And I think the players bought in, and that's what got the fans to buy in ultimately.
I don't think you on the transfer pod, but like, how'd you feel about their summer?
Well, I mean, for a Spurs transfer window, Spurs being that one team that always kind of like either get screwed over by Chelsea towards the end of the window or uh, do panic buys. We did really well, I think. I think we just had our seventh signing today, actually. I forgot the guy's name from Italy. He's going to spend the rest of the year on loan there in Udinese. But having six signings all ready for preseason, like that's perfect. And it's class players in the Premier League, but like Busuma and Richarlison. So I've been decently impressed with them so far.
Yeah, we should talk about the game. Obviously, like Chelsea kind of dominated the possession, but that's kind of what you expect from Tottenham. But uh, like how you feel like they were competitive, right? Like that's all you want to see, pretty much.
I mean, to be honest, it was the first half was kind of shaky. I mean, I was very disappointed with the first half. Like we gave them too much possession, too much confidence, especially after that first goal. But I think at halftime, I don't know what Conte said to them, but uh, you had everyone. To be honest, I'm not the biggest Højbjerg fan, for example, but after he scored that goal, like it changed right after. Kane had a missed chance, but he ultimately got the last goal. And shout out to Cuti Romero, you know, big change for our team, and we still didn't get him on permanent yet. So so I think he's going to be one of those big transfers, like permanent transfers. That's going to make a big difference.
Yeah, it's probably the first good center back you've had after like Vertonghen left, probably.
Definitely.
Hamza, you think they were fouls on those goals or what?
Ooh, I mean that was definitely a foul. The one on Havertz. That was obviously both were fouls. So I mean, yeah, I see why Chelsea fans are mad. Like I would have been mad if that was against me too. And both those like eventually led to the goal. But at the same time, there was a good amount of. I know there was no stoppage in play, but there was a good amount of time between that foul that happened and the goal on the other side. So like,
For the
it's
first
kind of
one.
an excuse. Yeah, it's an excuse, but it's still a foul. Yeah, the ref missed that. So if I'm a Chelsea fan, I would have been mad as well. And then pulling the hair, that's 100% foul.
You
But
need that
yeah,
shithousery.
yeah. I feel like that's like a Conte team. I feel like that's how Chelsea were when actually it's funny. Chelsea when he managed them, Conte, that's how they were. They were like a tough team. So I feel like they're kind of taking the personality of the manager. So this is a tough Tottenham. This would have been a game like a year ago, 2 years ago. They probably would have lost because Chelsea outplayed them. Chelsea created more chances, but they fought, they defended well, and they just took their chances.
I think Chelsea's been a
Also,
little bit shaky in like converting their chances as well. Like Havertz had a really good chance off of a cross, but
I
yeah,
have a
Ahmed, you
Havertz
mean
agenda. I have an agenda.
even
I don't.
Sterling. Sterling had a
Yeah.
big chance in the second half.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
Also,
since
I'd say Richarlison also when he came on, there was a big change in the dynamic, like him making all those runs and being physical. Obviously, like Son is one of the most important players on our team, but I think Richarlison stepped up in a game where Son didn't, even Kulusevski didn't really. So I think that's just one point of how those transfers really helped us. We have enough quality on the bench to step up.
Yeah, it's actually funny. Like they bought a bunch of players this offseason, and like they haven't really been starting them to the first two games. He's been sticking with last season's players, and like Basuma's come off the bench. With Perisic has come off the bench both games. Richarlison, so he's been sticking like the start of the season with the guys from last year, and they've been doing all right for him. So I mean, it shows that Conte like he can coach players too. So he's gotten these guys to play well. Sessegnon, I feel like been really good. He's
yeah,
in my fantasy Premier League team, so a little biased to Sessegnon, but he's been good too. So
I actually picked Perisic, but I mean, obviously, I expected him to start over Sessegnon, but
yeah,
I mean, I might have to transfer him out. He doesn't really get enough playing time, although he did get the assist today, and
he
I
got
feel
a
like
goal the first game too.
yeah, he takes like a what's it called? He takes corners with like both feet. Perisic.
Perisic is 2-footed. Like if you ever seen him for like in Italy or for Croatia, he's a great player.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I feel like Romero should have gotten a red card. We're kind of skipping over that, Ahmad.
Hey, if we skip back to the first half when Cucurella he stepped on Romero's knee, nothing was given there. I'm not denying the red card on Romero. Like obviously, I I thought they were gonna give him a red card actually, but even the FA didn't step in and find him or anything after the game, which is really interesting.
I think they got distracted by the managers fighting on the sidelines.
Yeah. Do you
I
know
like
how
this
much is it
rivalry.
banned? Did they ban them yet or no?
Did they both get reds at the
Yeah,
end of the game? So yeah, they'll
yeah.
definitely be banned for red cards.
Is it the same for players like 3-match ban or something?
It's, I think so. I'm not entirely sure. You don't really see managers getting red cards too often.
Yeah.
It might just be one game. I don't
I
know.
feel like Mourinho got sent to like the stands one time for
Yeah,
Tottenham. Or was
yeah,
that
for
maybe
sure.
Chelsea?
Mourinho for sure. I remember Klopp got I think a red once in the Champions League game for Dortmund. I know he was just shouting at the ref like crazy.
Yeah, sometimes they tell him to like just go in the stands or like something like that. But
Yeah,
what'd you think of that kind of like I guess like handshake, the handshake that we're calling it?
Oh, bro, Tuchel is a drawer or tie or whatever you want to call it. I mean, I don't know what to say about that. Tuchel, just get over it, man. Like little whiner.
I thought
Yeah.
yeah, I was surprised that he didn't do anything after he ran like across the sideline. I'm surprised Conte didn't do anything then.
You didn't see what Conte said on social media?
Oh yeah, he said he was gonna trip him if he saw him, but
yo,
obviously like he's just
Conte's a
making fun of
G.
it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Conte's a
bro.
G. I like that guy, man. Between Tuchel and Conte, I prefer Conte. I prefer his style. I think he's the better manager. I like Conte, man.
Yeah, he
He just
seems
gets the
more
most out of
fiery
his
and seems more
players.
real, like real aggressive.
Yeah, and his team's like they counterattack well. Like they'll defend, they'll defend like but they know how to counterattack. Tuchel could be more boring to watch, like his attack.
Might I add that it seems like a German thing with Klopp and Tuchel whining about something whenever it doesn't go their way.
Yeah, is it a German culture? I don't have any German friends, so I don't know. Is that how they
Yeah,
are?
I'm not trying to
No
slam
racism
on the
over
German people.
here.
You're not trying to generalize the whole
No,
population.
but
Klopp's
when
at
you got
another
two
level
German
though.
coaches,
Klopp's always complaining about something. The pitch was dry. It was
yeah,
windy, rain, like
grass is too
everything.
long.
Oh my God, everything under the sun. He'll find an excuse.
What was he saying about Fulham? That the grass was too dry?
It was dry. Like they don't. Both teams don't play on the same grass. Come on now, it's Fulham.
I mean, I think obviously Tottenham got off to a pretty good start, like smashing was it Southampton, but I feel like you take a draw away from home at Chelsea. You take that, especially in that situation.
Definitely. how many years has it been since we even won a game at Stamford Bridge? I don't I don't remember exactly, but
I think I saw it was like
well,
15 years or something.
yeah, I was even before the start of the game, I would have been happy even with our form from Southampton. Just because even the games that we played last season, obviously we've lost like 4 games at Chelsea last season or something like that. Even with in the Pochettino era, we couldn't pull a win. So as
Wow.
long as we got the tie, got some points from Stamford Bridge, I was happy. Because I know even I think Kane at the end of the game, he's like, you have to look at it as a marathon, not a sprint, obviously. So
Kane thought they won. He said whenever you win at Chelsea, then he like caught himself and he realized they didn't like that they drew only. And whenever anytime you get like a last minute equalizer against a rival, though, is big.
especially like away from home, just stealing all their joy basically, and they scored like only like 5 or 6 minutes before that. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, both teams played back five. Both teams like I guess they enjoy defending, but they both can obviously score. But I feel like Tottenham looks more dangerous in that style of play than Chelsea because I feel like I have more trust in their attackers.
yeah,
I'll say this. I thought Tottenham were gonna win like coming into the game. I thought Tottenham were like the better team. Like just I thought they had the better like summer, had the better transfers and all of that. And I'll give credit to Chelsea. Like they can look like they can look like crap, and then big games like Tuchel gets them ready. Like Real Madrid, Liverpool, like these games, like they know how to set up, and they're organized, and they've got Koulibaly, Silva, Cucurella. They got some defenders, Reece James. So like they're tough in big games.
Yeah, I mean they
especially
did
against
pretty well
Tottenham.
recruiting as well.
Yeah, whenever Barca didn't take their players.
Yeah, some team that is not doing well in recruiting is Manchester United. But yeah, we should talk about that game. Obviously, lost 4-0 to Brentford. Our bottom of the table looks like I don't know. Their club is like in disarray. I guess like too many problems to even talk about in just one like podcast. But that was like probably the craziest like 35 minutes I've ever seen in a game. Besides
It
like
was so fun.
yeah, besides like Brazil, Germany, that was like probably the craziest like opposition I've ever seen.
It was hilarious.
I love it. I love it. I love watching. I you know I missed the first half. I didn't expect that though. I thought Brentford would beat them, but I did not expect that start. It was terrible. De Gea, Martinez, all it was terrible all around.
Yeah, it's funny though. Like the Sandro Martinez, what like somebody said he looks like Lucas Torreira is playing center back. But I mean, I feel like David De Gea. Do you guys think he's a problem? Like, do you think they should upgrade or what?
100%. 100%. You saw that like the first goal. I said I would have saved that. I couldn't believe that. Like the ball just went under his arms. It was unbelievable. And then like he can't play out of the like he can't pass the ball, can't really like command the box. He fell off like crazy. He was really just a good like shot stopper, and even then like he's messing up at that. And he's the second highest paid player on the team after Ronaldo. So like it's
Yeah,
crazy.
that's the insane part is that like he was obviously an amazing shot stopper, but now like if he's struggling like that, like you used to see like once in a while, I feel like at the World Cup, last time I remember Ronaldo shot it and it like went through his hands or something like that. But it feels like if he's slipping on that, then you need a replacement, which is like weird
Dean
because they
Henderson.
let Dean Henderson go to Nottingham Forest. So I don't know if you can do anything, in this summer window right now.
No, they can't. I think they. I think the only thing they can do. I mean, it's hard saying it because it's Manchester United. They had so many chances to revamp their squad, and the best thing they can do at this point, which I don't think they will do, is by the end of the season make Dean Henderson their number one and just get rid of Maguire and the dead wood that they have. It's kind of cancerous to the club at this point. Like I don't know what's your views on Ronaldo, and even you have the McFred midfield. It's just
That's
It's
probably the
terrible
worst
all
part.
around.
Yeah.
yeah,
Terrible all around.
it's the whole squad.
And I know you mentioned Dean
Rashford,
Henderson, but Dean Henderson's at like Nottingham right now, Nottingham Forest. So
yeah,
like they didn't play him last season when they were supposed to. And I'm not surprised at all how United, because they have the same players from last season. So like, how can you expect any different? And then they brought like a 5'7" center back to the Premier League. So like, of course he's gonna get dunked on by Ben Mee at the back post. Like,
And he's
come
playing
on.
over like Varane, which is even the more surprising part. I'm like, dude, you just bought this guy for so much. You obviously got him on a free, but you paid him so much money in wages and stuff, like agents fees or whatever. But that you just
He's
buy
not
his
a Premier
replacement.
League defender. He's not a Premier League defender, man.
He's
Like,
too
yeah,
small.
he
He just
can.
is. Like, he just is too
Yeah.
small. Are you talking about Varane?
No. Martinez.
Yeah. Martinez. He's too little.
Yeah, Arsenal were interested in him, but we were definitely going to play him at left back. So it's weird
Left
that they're
back
playing him
or
at center back.
CM.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a mess over there. Like Ten Hag. Like I don't know. When did he become manager? In May, and like all he's got Lisandro Martinez, and it seems to me like all summer they've just been chasing his old Ajax players, like
Yeah.
De Jong, and then like they're linked with Sergio Dest. Like it's crazy. I don't know what the recruitment is over there, what their plan is. It's a mess, and they have like 2 weeks left in the window. It's crazy. So
I don't think
I
they have
love
a
it though.
sporting director.
No, Ragnick left when he told them they need like at least 10 new players, and he left. It's crazy, and they haven't really signed anybody outside of Martinez. I know they sound like a young like what left back, but
Yeah, Malasia or something.
yeah,
I don't know
but
his name.
He's
like
from the
come on,
Dutch league too. Yeah.
yeah. And then there's the whole Ronaldo issue of like he obviously doesn't want to be there, and he's just sulking, and he has bad attitude, and that's not helping the team. The midfield sucks. Like nobody can like play. Literally, like Brentford was just pressing them like crazy, and they just kept winning the ball back. It's crazy how bad it is over
They're
there.
probably like the worst team to play off on the back, and then they still like kept doing it even after it was like 2-0.
Yeah, that's
I
what I'm
mean,
saying. So like, if you obviously don't have the players to do that, play that specific style that Ten Hag plays. So either use different players or play to their strengths. Like,
Yeah,
the
you
fact
gotta
is
you gotta
that,
have the players before the system. I feel like
yeah.
you gotta play to the strengths of your players first.
exactly.
And if they really want to change the whole footballing philosophy that they have at United, it's going to take years. Like, if they want to stick with Ten Hag, it's going to take years. Like, they have to be realistic. They can't, like, as a Tottenham fan, I'm happy with what I'm seeing. But if I'm a United fan, like, you have to just be realistic and know, do you really want to change managers after a season, or just go through with Ten Hag? I mean, he's a good coach. Just follow what he's going to do for the next few years, revamp the squad,
They need to go
get
the
his
Arsenal
young
route
players.
and get like how Arsenal got Arteta a bunch of like young players he could coach. Like that's what they need to
Yeah.
do over there.
Yeah, they spent over like 150 million last summer, and then they spent over like 100 million this summer. So like
Yeah.
they bought like 7 or 8 players, and that was that they had a first of all they had a director that was aligned with their coach. So then they both got a plan, and they obviously signed young players, but it, the whole Ronaldo Varane thing that kind of like messed up their whole timeline because
Yeah.
you have like young players and Sancho and Rashford that like they actually look terrible right now.
And they haven't bought like a defensive midfielder in years. They haven't really replaced Pogba.
That's the craziest thing, to be honest. Out of every position, they're still with McFred.
It's crazy. Teams like Newcastle and Villa and Wolves have better midfield options than Manchester United.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd rather have like Douglas Luiz and like John McGinn.
Exactly, 100%.
Yeah, I mean Newcastle like Bruno, what's the guy Bruno Guimaraes or whatever. He's good.
He's good, man.
Even
Wolves
Joe
just signed
Wellington,
a
bro, a
like
striker.
Yeah,
Wolves just signed some midfielders from Portugal. They got Ruben Neves. Leicester has Tillemans, who's I don't know why nobody's bought him yet. He's in the last year of his contract. There's options, but they're spending the whole summer chasing De Jong around. He does not obviously does not want to go there because if he did, he would have already went to Manchester United because Barcelona are trying to sell him.
yeah. I mean they need the money. They would have taken the money, but
No, he doesn't want
yeah.
to
I
go to
mean
United.
it seems like it's gonna be a multi-year project. But the problem is like they bought these guys like pretty recently, like Sancho and Maguire and like I mean obviously Ronaldo and Varane, but they bought them so recently. Like it's hard to like and like they've invested quite a bit of money. It's just like kind of been in the wrong places.
Yeah,
I thought Maguire would be a good buy. Everyone thought Maguire would be good, but clearly that didn't work out. But players like Sancho or Rashford, even Martial, like me personally, I feel like they should give them a chance at least. I don't know. Maybe you guys might disagree with me.
No, Martial, like for sure, he got injured. I think he was having like a good preseason, and then he got injured. And then Rashford, I don't know, that guy fell off completely. Like I think he might have to leave. And then I think you got to get rid of Ronaldo. You got to get rid of De Gea. Like these guys that earn a lot of money.
Who's
And
the one guy you would keep at United? And I think I know. I have my own answer. Who's like the player that just always performs for United?
well, he doesn't. It's hard to think of a player that performs, but I would keep Sancho, even though he hasn't been performing. Like he's we've seen his talent. Like he's a young talent. Like he's actually good. It's not Bruno. He's been bad for over a year. It's definitely not Bruno for me. It's tough. It's really hard to think of a person that's been performing for them.
What
Like
was your answer? What was your player?
I was thinking Sancho
Yeah.
yeah,
because
Sancho.
yeah, Sancho. Because like what Hamza said with Bruno, he's not really stepping up. Didn't he sign a new contract recently also?
Yeah, took the number 8 and everything.
Yeah, like, but at the same time, the whole team is just a mess. So
Yeah, I mean, they probably should have sold more players this summer, I feel like,
yeah,
because especially when you're not making Champions League, you're not attracting like De Jong. Like he's probably not going to play there if they don't have Champions League, and they're probably not going to make Champions League like for next season either. So
You know what I think their big mistake was, outside of all these players, was not going after Antonio Conte after they got rid of Ole. Antonio Conte was available. He would have taken the job at Man United,
yeah.
and they wanted like, I think they like managers that like Ten Hag, even though he's like respected as a good coach. These guys that they can kind of like push around. Conte would have been like, these players suck. Get me this player, get me that player. I need to be backed. I need this. I need that. And he would not stand for this. He would not get embarrassed at Brentford like this because he's a real manager. He's a winner, and they didn't hire him. He was available, and they wanted somebody else. So that was a big mistake, and Spurs obviously benefited from that.
that's when
I
they got
thought for
Ralph,
sure
right?
United would.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I was kind of worried that they would get Conte because Conte's had success everywhere. So they made a big mistake not going after Conte.
And yeah, even if Ten Hag's a good manager, he's not like you don't have the players to fit his system, so it doesn't really matter
Exactly.
if he's a good manager or not.
And I feel like Ten Hag like he didn't realize like how deep he was in, and now he's like, damn. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
So do you think it's the owners also?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the problem starts from the top, but like I'm just saying on like things you can't really change that unless you sell the club. But I'm just talking about like decisions that could have been made differently
you
in
saw
the last year.
Elon Musk tweet. He was like, "I'm going to buy Manchester United."
Yo, the memes are killing me right now. Like,
But yeah, I mean, they're in last place, and I feel like even last season, Arsenal they still got off to a bad start, but it was mostly because of injuries and like players being out. Like they don't really have anybody out besides maybe Martial, and he's not making like much of a difference in the back and the midfield.
it's gonna be a tough season. I don't know where they're gonna finish, honestly.
And now teams like know their like their weakness. It's like just press because
They're all gonna attack them like Brentford did. Yep.
yeah. I mean,
Ooh, it's gonna be
even
fun.
Brighton did it. Even Brighton did it. Now Brentford did it. It's like literally anybody with
Liverpool's gonna
players that
do it.
The
yeah,
next game is
dude.
Liverpool.
If they lose like 5-0 again, you think like I don't even know. Like Ronaldo might just like sit out. He might just sit out the rest of the season.
I could see
So,
that, to be honest.
He's like
yeah,
just I'm just resting for the World Cup.
crazy. I think Ronaldo might go to Chelsea though. On the Ronaldo point, just just a guess.
I feel like I think they're only like not doing it because they don't want their image to be like I guess look that bad like selling to their rival.
United
Yeah.
at this point they can't keep him around. Like he's
I mean,
just
they're
bad for
open
the
to
team.
selling him now.
I thought there was a report that said like they don't want to sell him.
I
I
recently
think
read
after
that.
these 2 games, they're gonna want to sell him.
Yeah.
Especially like he's gonna be pissed the whole time if they keep losing.
Yeah, he might just stop showing up. Like,
Yeah.
no call, no show. The Premier League.
Yeah, I mean he's not gonna be playing like Europa League group stage. But we should talk about Liverpool. Obviously, Nunez got a red card. He's kind of a wild moment for him. They look kind of shaky a little bit, Liverpool, especially at the back, letting in like counter-attacking goals and stuff. So, Hamza, you feel like your biggest rival is taking a step back?
Yeah, I mean, I knew they like all the Liverpool fans and everybody was saying they should sign a midfielder, and I was surprised they didn't sign a midfielder this summer. And then like Thiago goes down, and then obviously Thiago's their best midfielder, so they're gonna struggle without him. But yeah, it's been kind of surprising how poor they've been to start the season. Like it's Fulham and Crystal Palace. Like I know Crystal Palace away is always tough, but it was at home actually. No, the Crystal Palace game. Yeah, Crystal Palace is still a tough team to play against, and the way they defended was very tough. But Liverpool have just they've been struggling. Like I know you said in defense, which I think like the problem has been really more on the attack. Like they're not really like meshing like that. And I kind of predicted it with Mane leaving, going to Bayern. I know they bought Nunez, but he's not that type of player, and they've always done good with like somebody that can connect up top, like Firmino, and then when Mane moved up top. So with Nunez, it's different, and he's a whole nother nutcase. Like this guy, he's a funny player, man. Just headbutting somebody, like
That's crazy. Like I never even expected like him to be like that.
he had like a Zidane moment now.
He's South American, man.
But yeah, he's got like a
He's
crazy
got that
temper,
Luis Suarez in him, that Uruguayan blood.
Yeah.
and he's kind of like a crazy player. Like you don't know what he's gonna do in front of goal. Like he might score. He might try to like flick it with his back heel. Like he's kind of a weird player. So now he's not gonna be there, and then they're missing Thiago. It's been a tough start for Liverpool, but I'm enjoying it as a City fan watching them.
But you know who they're
kick
also
off.
missing? Where's Mo Salah been these past
Yeah,
2 games?
he was bad against Crystal Palace. I think he was all right against Fulham.
He
He had a
disappeared
goal
the
assist.
entire match.
He was terrible. Honestly, Diaz carried them like he dribbled past 4 people and like curled it into the corner. That was an amazing goal. And if Zaha like was more clinical, they would have lost 2-1, 3-1. Like Crystal Palace shut them down. So
Yeah.
Salah didn't play well. None of their players really played well. Van Dijk, you see that guy jogging back for the goal.
Yeah, what was that? Like he never closed him down. Like I was like, what do you expect? He's just gonna shoot.
He tries to be too casual. If you ever watch this guy, like when he defends.
In the first game, he gave up the penalty on Mitrovic too. He's like kind of
Yeah.
been a little bit sloppy first couple
Yep.
games.
Yeah.
Yep, rough start for Liverpool, man. They thought it was sweet after the Community Shield against City. They forgot that's just a preseason game, man.
But yeah, what's it called? What do you think? Like, obviously they're gonna be fine. They're probably still gonna make like top four and stuff. But
Yeah,
it's these games that matter that determine the title. Like dropping 2 points to.
I don't
But I
think they're
mean,
gonna
in your
get
both
top
games.
4. I don't
What?
think they're gonna get top 4.
no, you're crazy.
Bro, like
I
just look at
mean-
the teams around them.
I think Chelsea's better than Liverpool.
That's nuts. No way.
You can't come
Yeah.
on here and say that. Ahmed.
That's a hot take. That's a hot take.
I think
That's a flaming hot
Chelsea,
take.
bro, Chelsea will improve towards the end of the season with their new players. I think Arsenal will make top 4. City will make top 4. And I'm putting Spurs for top 4 also.
You know what's crazy? My prediction before the season, I was flipping between them. Obviously, I had City winning the league, which is still looking good. But I thought Spurs were going to finish second and possibly Liverpool third. But I was flipping between Spurs and Liverpool. I didn't think they would fall off this much. But I think Liverpool are going to have to buy somebody. There's still 2 weeks left. They're not going to fall out of the top 4. There's no way. Arsenal, Spurs, Chelsea, they're not consistent enough. Like,
Well, who are they gonna buy in what position?
bro, the season that I know the rest of the league has improved, but the season that all their players got injured, like they still managed to finish in the top four when Van Dijk and Matip and all these guys
Yeah, they're
went
playing
down.
like Nat Phillips and some
Yeah,
other guy
and they
in
still
center
managed to
back.
finish in the top four. Like they're just they're just better than these other teams.
But I
I
think
know
what's
I know
missing,
Chelsea and Spurs and Arsenal have improved this year though, but still,
they're missing that killer instinct though. I think they're
yeah,
missing Mane made a huge difference. Even when Mane was on the team before Salah was on the team, you could tell there was that killer instinct with Mane and Firmino and Coutinho when they're together.
100%.
But
And I
it's
think
just
people
Firmino's
underrated
not
that.
there either.
People underrated losing Mane. I thought like because Salah was bad since like he came back from AFCON, and Mane honestly carried them in the Premier League at least for like the second half of the season. So when Mane left, they underrated that.
I think
His
Jota will
move.
help them when he comes back though. But I mean, being outside the top four is a little crazy, bro.
Hey,
Yeah, I
I'm
can't.
calling
I'd
it.
love to see it. I'd love to see it, but I doubt it happens.
That would be insane. Um, yeah. So I mean, you obviously don't trust Mohamed Salah. I think I picked him as like Golden Boot winner, but I feel like Holland's gonna run away with it.
As annoying as
Really?
Salah is, he's like how many seasons in a row is this? Like this is about to be the fifth season that he'll hit probably 20 plus goals in the league.
And like 10
So
assists too. He gets a good amount of assists as well. But
yeah, we started getting assists now. So
I have Harry Class A Kane getting Golden Boot.
don't make me sing the song. Holland.
No, I don't see Salah having a great season. It'll probably like shoot me in the back by saying that, but I don't know. I feel like Salah needs that extra guy, someone like Mane, to be up top with him. Yes, Salah sometimes has those miraculous moments, but how far is he going to get with the team that he has when his best supporting attacker at the moment is Nunez? Jota's injured, and Jota's not really like a starter player, you know. And then you have their shaky defense already. They don't really have a creative midfielder because Thiago's injury prone, so I don't even count that.
yeah, but
So Salah,
like
he
Hamza
has
said,
to,
I would be surprised if they don't buy a midfielder now.
That's their biggest weakness. Like they're playing Henderson, and I cannot believe James Milner
James Miller, yeah,
is
was
starting
starting.
Premier League games in 2022.
yeah.
James Milner.
What they could do is start Carvalho.
He's young and unproven though. Like
Yeah,
he
but I
actually
mean, at
looks
this
solid.
point,
I like Harvey Elliott as well, but
yeah.
City are playing De Bruyne, Bernardo, and Rodri. Like that's who you got to compete with. Like even Arsenal's midfield is looking solid with Partey and Odegaard.
Hey,
No,
Shaka,
yeah.
Yeah.
Like I know that's who you want to bring up next, right? Arsenal game.
of course, bro. 6 points from 6, looking good. Leicester wasn't like it's 4-2, but like it could have easily been like 4-1 or 5-1. Like the own goal was pretty dumb. It was just like a miscommunication between Saliba, who's obviously looked really good. Um, you mentioned that Tottenham sent a guy back on loan. That's basically what Arsenal did as soon as they signed Saliba. And I think he's been on loan for 3 years or two, at least two. And obviously he's looked good. He deserves to be in the team. He even moved like Ben White out of his starting spot into right back. So it's just like Tottenham, like we have like quality like coming off the bench now as well, and like more like dependent on other players, not just one guy. Like Saka had a pretty average game against Leicester, I would say, but then you have Martinelli and Jesus, and even Granit Xhaka obviously looked pretty good. So it seems like they've obviously like turned a page from last season, and they have more confidence, and I feel like they can definitely push for top four, and it's just a matter about being consistent, and especially with those young guys. I mean, we have one of the youngest teams in the league, and we're still looking good right now. And Jesus has been like he's been better than I expected. Like honestly, like preseason, okay, I was like, okay, it's preseason, like he looks pretty good, but like even in the season, like you can tell that defenders like they're just like aware of him at all times, and he's gonna make them think like make them basically like second guess themselves when they're putting in tackles because he can play on the wing and he cuts inside. He's already developed a lot of chemistry with a lot of the guys, especially with Martinelli. And you saw that first goal. That was just class. Like
That was
you only see
Golazo.
that from like the top strikers in the world.
That was a Golazo.
Yeah.
He's been the missing piece for Arsenal, I think, these past few years. Like they needed, first of all, like what I think Hamza either before the podcast, I don't remember, he mentioned he needed for a young team like that, Zinchenko and Jesus having those 4 Premier League medals. 4, right? Yeah, and just having that on the team with their quality at the same time and having the young talent around them, it's scary.
Yeah, I mean,
So
people were hyping up Tottenham. They were like a low key, sleeper for like even top 2. I mean, second place maybe, not
I
first,
think
definitely
Arsenal
not.
can get second place.
But yeah, we're just trying to ride the wave right now, not to get too high on ourselves. Just got to beat the people in front of you. Like we have Bournemouth next. Like that's a must win. Like 3 points. Like you got to get 3 points against Bournemouth. So you just got to take care of these small teams and then see what happens against the big guys.
The thing
Yeah,
is, you
Arteta's
guys have
cooking something.
you guys have quality on the bench also, like even for your defense. And like I think about who you guys have on the bench, like Smith Rowe, um,
Even like
Tomiyasu,
Tomiyasu and Tierney are pretty much
Tierney.
like second
Yeah.
string. So
What else do you guys have?
Eddie and
Pepe.
Ketia is pretty good.
Yeah,
Nicolas Pepe.
Yeah.
But looks
yeah.
like he might leave.
Yeah, it looks like he might go out on loan because Arsenal are interested in bringing in another wide player. And then apparently we have this young guy, Fabio Vieira, who we just bought for like 35 million, who
He's a
like people don't
midfielder
know
as
much
well.
about him, but he looks a promising like Portuguese guy, midfielder.
Is that the one you guys just got, or there's another Portuguese guy you guys got, right?
That was him. I think that was it this
Oh, that
summer.
was him.
Yeah,
Okay.
from Porto.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's a promising start. You just got to keep building.
I'm waiting for those Arteta inconsistencies to kind of come in.
What do
I
you
think
mean by
it'll
that?
come eventually. I think it'll come. But Arsenal, like they've started really well. I'm not surprised. Like just watching them in preseason, and I'm not surprised by how good Jesus has been. He's always been like really talented, and he had some good moments at City as well. But now, like he gets to go to a club like Arsenal, and he gets to like be the man in attack, and he gets to have more responsibility on him and more freedom as well. So I'm not surprised how well he's playing. So Odegaard, Saliba coming back was huge. He's been so good for them.
Yeah,
Obviously,
when's the last time Arsenal had a good defense? Like you actually trust them?
it's been forever. I can't remember.
At least
With
10 years.
Koscielny maybe.
Yeah, Koscielny and like Mertesacker.
Yeah, like that one season. But yeah, like adding Zinchenko has been really good. Like that quality on left back because Tierney's always injured. So yeah, I mean, Arsenal started well, like 2 games, 6 points. They just got to keep going.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you got to get a little bit lucky in recruitment and like signings and hoping your guys hit. But like the past 2 years, all the signings they've made have pretty much gone as well as you would hope for with all your guys.
Yeah, I still think they're like 1 or 2 players away from like actually really challenging. But like I think they're good enough for top 4 now for sure. Like they're missing what they didn't have last year, like depth and like quality in certain positions.
Yeah, they pretty much have quality in almost like pretty much every position now. You could say like the only weakness is like Shaka, just because he just has like a weird
Yeah,
vibe about him that he could get like a red
yeah.
card at any time. But
He's a shaky warrior, bro. You never know what you're gonna get with Shaka.
I just remember
When
that game
he,
against I think it was Man City last season. He like almost took off Cancelo's like ankle.
red card,
Yeah,
5-0. He always does that. It's funny, man.
yeah. But he had a great game, and I guess that's the only weakness I think in midfield with like Party and Shaka. If one of them goes down, we
That's
don't
the
really
club
have.
I think should go for Tillmans. I think Arsenal, the team that should go for him.
We've been rumored with him since like May, but nothing has happened.
Yeah.
It's weird. But yeah, I feel like the defensive midfielder is like the only weak spot because you can't really expect Party to play 38 games and Europa League as well. So
Bro, and Nenny.
yeah, he did a decent job last season, like at the end of last season. Like he was actually decent.
I think Arteta rates him also.
Yeah.
I like him, bro. I mean, he
Yeah.
can't do what Partey does, like with the ball, but he's solid, like defensively. He'll just keep the ball moving. He's not really gonna pass the ball forward too much, but he'll pass it sideways.
You guys
Yeah,
can
he's
take Winks.
the what?
You guys can take Harry Winks.
Oh my god.
Is
Yo,
he still on your
Conte's trying to
bench?
get rid of like 6 players, right? In
Bro,
Dombele.
we just got rid of Lo Celso on loan. I think Ndombele, I
He went
think
he
we
went back to
agreed.
Lyon, didn't he?
No, I think he's going to Napoli on loan.
I
Or was that
think
last season
Napoli.
he went to Lyon?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I thought
last
he was.
season he
I thought
went to
they sold
Lyon.
him.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was on loan back in
Yeah,
France. I thought they sold him. I was like, Ndombele still at Tottenham.
yeah, he's on loan at Napoli. I think Fabrizio Romano said, and then Winks, bro. I don't know what's up with Winks. We don't hear anything about him.
Yeah, I mean, he just doesn't really fit the bill anymore now that Basuma's there, and you guys trust like Højbjerg a lot. I feel like
Yeah,
what we got next week. I mean, obviously the big game next week is United Liverpool on Monday. I feel like that's going to be a bloodbath,
Are we
especially
just gonna skip? Are we just gonna skip Man City Bournemouth? Come on now.
that was nobody watched that.
I did.
oh, I saw the highlights for that actually. There
Saw
were
De
some good
Bruyne.
goals in that match.
Yeah, De
Saw De
Bruyne was
Bruyne
Oh, De
nice.
score.
Bruyne, yeah.
Outside foot. What a monster.
Only
Best
him and like
player.
Modric can do that.
Yeah. And charisma.
It's crazy. I mean, yeah, another easy win
Yes.
for you guys.
Without Haaland scoring also.
Yeah, he didn't score this week, but like people were trying to bring up the fact that he only got a few touches. Like, come on, we won 4-0. And if you actually watch the game,
Foden should have squared that one to him when
he
he
should have
had
had
the
a tap
open.
in.
Yeah.
Foden, yeah, would have gave it to him. I think these guys are so used to playing without a striker for a few seasons now. Like he's not used to anybody being in that position right there to tap it in. And then like if you actually watch the game, like 2, 3 like defenders would be focusing on Haaland, and that gave space for De Bruyne to shoot it. That gave space for Foden to run off when he scored. And then De Bruyne, Haaland assisted Gundogan, so he
Yeah.
still affected the game without scoring.
I feel like he that's one thing he could probably like if he gets really good at it, it'll be another like dimension to Man City's offense, like his backup game, basically his hold up play. Because he's
Yeah,
a
yeah,
huge
he's
guy,
actually underrated.
obviously. Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually underrated. Like he's good with the ball. People think he's just like a finisher.
Yeah, he's pretty good at those 1-2s with all those midfielders and wingers and stuff. But yeah, I mean, you guys aren't really lacking in any department.
Well, we were in left back because like we've been playing Cancelo there, but honestly, we need like a left-footed left back, especially with Zinchenko leaving and having only Walker and Cancelo as our fullbacks. So we just signed Sergio Gomez, this like left-footed, like he's another like attacking type of player from Anderlecht, but he's kind of like Zinchenko. He's an attacker, but he's left-footed and he plays left back now. So I'm excited to see how he plays at City. And I thought he was going to get loaned out, but he's going to be part of the first team apparently. That's what Pep said. So yeah, now we got a left-footed left back too. So we address that need. So yeah, I'm excited, man.
I mean, your left back basically plays like midfield. Like I guess same with Zinchenko. His first couple of games, like they're basically playing midfield with
Yeah,
like a back three sometimes.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's not really much to complain about at Man City. I guess like yeah.
Nope.
What do you guys think about
Smooth
I
sailing.
mean, you lost Torres and you lost Sterling, so but then you got Alvarez, who looks pretty. I mean, he had a good moment in the FA Cup. Was it Shield, but Community Shield, but
Yeah, yeah. I'm excited about Alvarez. I mean, I, Sterling and Jesus, those guys they were big for us for like the last like 6, 7 years now, even with Sterling. So, but Alvarez looks good. I think he's gonna be like a Jesus type for us, like us another strike option. And then Holland, don't need to say anything about that guy. He's gonna bang. Like people were questioning like if he could cut it in the Premier League, and then his first game he got 2 goals. Like I thought that was funny, and I think Holland's gonna do amazing. Alvarez, I'm excited for him as well. There's gonna be a lot of cup games and other games when Holland's not gonna play every week, or if he gets injured, I think Alvarez is gonna be there. And then they replaced Fernandinho with Calvin Phillips, like young player, starts for the England national team. So yeah, it was. I think it was a pretty good summer, honestly, especially with signing a left back now as well. So they kind of replaced everybody that's left. So yeah, I mean, new players, it's exciting. Things are good at Man City right now.
Yeah, every year is the same thing with you guys.
Hey,
I mean, they
Or
might
was it
hit like
you?
they might hit
I
100 points.
mean, you have to like Liverpool the last few years has really like challenged us. Like we barely like won the league by 2 points, 1 point. So yeah, I mean we got to keep refreshing, keep the squad like keep going. So
Yeah, I could see like this year being a gap between first and second. Like last year's a gap between second and third. I feel like this year could be a gap between where second, third, and fourth are pretty tight.
yeah,
And
I
Man
mean
City kind of runs away with it.
yeah, we'll see. I mean, there's a chance because usually like City's problem was always how they start the season and like they've always started the season slowly. But this is the first season in a while that like they've started the season like out the gates, like they're already doing good. So yeah, I mean, if Chelsea or Tottenham, I thought Tottenham and Liverpool would be like main challengers, but I don't know if Liverpool are going to keep dropping points. I don't expect them to. So if they keep dropping points though, then yeah, it's the league. There could be a big gap at the top of the table, but you never know. It's only been 2 weeks, and like one or two injuries could change everything.
Yeah. I guess that's most of the top six teams. I guess the six richest teams, not really the top six teams with United like in 20th place right now.
The top
But
five teams and the bottom team of the league.
yeah, basically. I feel like West Ham's gotten off to like a rough start, but I feel like they'll turn it around eventually.
They had some rough first two games, anyways.
Yeah.
Nottingham Forest was always going to be a tough game, I
They
think.
they hit the bar like 4 times against Nottingham Forest, I saw.
Yeah,
Apparently, Declan Rice missed a penalty.
Yeah. He
yeah,
got
it's a
saved.
poor penalty.
Dean
Why is
Good
Rice
Henderson.
save,
taking the
but
penalty? Why is he taking the penalties?
yeah,
This man scored like 2, 3 goals all season last year. He's like,
Antonio was on the field. I thought Antonio would take it.
was Skamaka playing?
He's been coming off
No,
the bench recently. Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
Even Bowen, I feel like Bowen would be pretty good at penalties.
yeah, Bowen also.
But yeah, maybe Newcastle will be in the top six. We'll see.
I'd like to see that.
They got a tough test against Man City, two top six teams.
the two the Saudis versus the Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be an interesting matchup. But yeah, I think that's it for this time. We'll catch you guys in a couple weeks. Looking forward to next couple games. I feel bad for United fans, but I also don't.
No, we don't.
Yeah, I was about to say I don't
No,
feel
we
bad one
don't.
bit.
Rest in piss.
All right, thanks guys. See you guys a couple weeks.
Thanks for having me, bro.
Thanks, man.